but that's what I wanted to do because he's losing it. You understand what I'm saying? No.
I bet you got voted the most likely to succeed.
Oh yeah, this shirt. I wore this shirt at my high school prom.
No, that's what it says. I'm sure the class voted you the most likely to succeed.
Oh yeah, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. We all, we were dancing around. We didn't know what was going on. And here we are. Look at me. I got a yarmulke on my head. Look at that.
That's it.
Oh, hello, guys. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Rabbi Kimmel. Hey, Rabbi Kimmel. Look at you. You look wonderful. I salute you. Like, that's for you. There you go. You're a good boy.
I want to wish everybody l'chaim l'bracha.
Yes. Cheers. Cheers to you and your beloved ones, your sons and your daughters and your grandma. Mazel tov.
Oh, especially the grandma, huh?
What? Yeah, my puppy. My puppy used to make me Lutki. Chali and Lutki's gefilte fish. Oh yeah, we were still in our puppets. It was wonderful.
What about Canagla?
I had health issues and in pain.
What's that?
Matzo balls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had mutzi. We had the mutzi ball soup. We had the mutzi balls. We had hoagie rolls and forky rolls and pierogies. It was wonderful.
The winnings is against the law in college. The guy in this program.
Gimel Elef, how you doing?
Oh, Baruch Hashem, Schneider, how you doing?
Oh, I love it when you guys get
Baruch
together.
Hashem.
Schneider, your nose looks more beautiful every week.
Oh yeah.
You got a little bit of Schneider, you were outside for 10 minutes, weren't you? You got a little bit of sun on that nose.
Secret code, which is Facebook.
Label, speak up. I can't hear you.
That's fine.
No, I want to hear what you have to say. Come on. Be a boy kid.
Remember to keep this code private. Thank you.
Wait, what did you say?
I said you're looking really good.
Thank you. You too.
Time.
You look wonderful. Look at you with the guitar in your hand.
I look at you and I think you've aged a bit since yeshiva.
Well, thank you. Listen, you look like a rock and roll maniac.
Oh.
Yeah, but he got the guitar and bam, bam, bam.
See, label. I told you, Schneider had a mushy side.
Well,
it's in there somewhere.
I got a mushy nose. Look at this.
That's great. How you make your nose, Schneider?
Nose knows.
Your nose used to be so high pitched. Now it's beautiful like a chazan.
Oh yeah, but I blow my nose like the trees fall down.
Oh, I know. It used to be you could only take out the bushes, but your kriches have gone to their fullest now.
I don't know. One time I had a dust in my nose. I sneezed so hard the Twin Towers fell down.
So, Kevin, what do we have on the agenda for today?
Schneider.
What are we thinking?
Schneider used to have real big ears.
Oh,
They got caught in the holes of his ears, and he sneezed, and it blew his brains out.
My ears flew away. It was wonderful. Now I could hear.
I didn't have time to learn your tikkun.
Which one?
Sorry, it was redundant.
Fine, I'm still.
If I was a rich man, yeah, but boy. Listen, children, let me tell you something. Listen carefully. You hear that? Let that be a lesson to you. All right, you let that be a lesson to you. When I was growing up, I had my bar mitzvah over in Shiratora with Rabbi Pupko.
You want to do the trilogy? The Shiobata trilogy?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Again?
Why not? It's great.
Gimbal, LF, you're a good boy.
Schneider.
Yes.
When I was in high school,
Trash.
they said what they thought everybody would be doing in 30 years. So they said that I would have won the Pulitzer Prize in physics for my work on stresses and strains in human body while sleeping in an upright position.
It had something to do with being sicker, no?
And in the physics class, I used to go to sleep right away.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bashalom. Rabbi Onion, that's what I said. Rabbi Onion, Bashalom. I'll laugh. How are you today?
Wow, Labe, it sounds like a baby accordion there. That's beautiful. How you get them tones out of that boy?
Oh, and we got a first shoulder in with the bongo.
It's not out of tune. It's perfectly out of tune.
First shoulder in with the bongo drum. Bum, bitty bum. Bitty bark, bum.
There's a lawyer in town. So I sent him a link to the show. So he told me, he said, is that Andy DeLynn on the bongo drum? He was like amazed. I said, yeah, we get all the top talent.
Yeah, I know. Listen, that's what happens when you pay top dollar, you know?
Yeah, the big bucks, like DeLynn says.
Oh, yeah. My daddy told me when I was a little boy. My daddy said, you see a penny? Bend down, grab it, pick it up and squeeze it, and then shove it in your pocket. You keep doing that, you'll save up pennies your whole life. One day you'll be rich.
Well,
was there another slow taking we sang last
There
song?
was. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
so how did that work out for you?
Well, I'm still saving those pennies. I grab them and I squeeze them.
You got a beautiful shirt out of the deal.
Oh, yeah, I wore this at my high school prom.
Yeah. How, I'm wondering why you don't have one of those string cowboy ties with it.
Oh, you mean like the, I forgot what those are called.
With the round turquoise and silver thing with the leather strings.
I used to have one of those.
I'm sure you did.
Oh,
that's what I was wondering, why you didn't have it on.
Oh, yeah. Listen to that music. Listen to that.
It's gorgeous. Oh, how we danced on the night we were away. Are we recording this? If we could record this, it'd be great.
Oh, I thought you have the record thing.
Well, I do. I didn't know if you were also. Are we stringing it to the places?
It looks like it. Let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's working. Where's the he's recording. Maybe he's recording.
It's gorgeous. Keep doing that. It's beautiful.
Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you. That made me feel very happy. You put it. What happened? They disappeared. Well, now it's you and me. Listen, kids, let me tell you something. And this is very important. You hear that? Let this be a lesson to you.
Here's Hirsch's back. Now we can start if we want.
It's 10 o'clock. We should have started an hour ago. Let's go.
Okay, ready, boys?
Some people have to get up.
Hey, it's Gimalala.
Ready for the Utsuwaitza?
Okay.
Gimalala, are you going to sing for us? Are you going to sing for us, Gimalala?
Take glasses off so I can see what I'm doing.
Okay, hit it.
Hear what you're doing.
I want to sing the roof off the dome.
Long intro.
You also can't hear him.
Yeah, take it away, boys.
That was nice. Give him a round of applause. Let
All
me
right.
tell you something. Children,
See-
Betshalala is going to give us the
Morty, it's only you and me. Their Wi-Fi went out.
Well, let's hear some nice, inspiring words. Children, pay attention. Rabbi Betshalala is going to tell us something.
Hey, kids, what time is it?
Time for Gezintahait.
Mendel, can you hear me now?
Hey,
Mendel, the Wi-Fi is going nuts. Are you sure we're plugged in? Let Yossi take a look.
Okay, children.
It is time for Gezintahait Street. And as always, we start out with a story. And the title of the story this week is called The Last Laugh. See, Mendel, now you're frozen. And the band is also frozen.
I see Mendel.
Now Gimel Aleph is on. The band is frozen. There they are. They're back. Okay.
Okay, children.
The Zohar relates that on Rosh Hashanah, the meaning of the word Mavarach, you know, when we say Kaddish, we say the great name of Hashem should be blessed, Mavarach, and the meaning of that word Mavarach, to be blessed, was revealed to Rabbi Yitzchak the Button. And it was revealed to him on Rosh Hashanah in a dream. The word Mavarach combines opposing dynamics. The first part, Mev, means harsh judgment, while the second half, Rach, means soft and good. Similarly, the first of the high holidays, Rosh Hashanah, is a day of judgment, while the last day, Shmini Atzeres, are days of unmitigated joy. Why are we talking about Rosh Hashanah? Because this is the month of Kislev, and soon is going to be the 19th of Kislev, which is the Rosh Hashanah of Chassidus. The Rebbe's father explains this Zohar's account of the secret of a word Mavarach, which means be blessed, and why it was revealed to Rabbi Yitzchak the Button. And Button in Hebrew is Kaptorah, Rabbi Yitzchak Kaptorah. Why to him special, and why in a dream, and why the meaning of this word to be blessed. And it says that three things need mercy. A good year, that's Rosh Hashanah. A good king, that's what we do on Rosh Hashanah, we make a king. And a good dream. In sleep, a person's true intellect, which is called the big brains, is minimized and hidden by the small intellect of the dream images. The true intellect finally is revealed through the one that interprets the dream for good. The famous dream interpretator is who, Gimel Aleph? Yosef HaTzadik. Joseph is the one who knows how to interpret dreams. And he symbolizes the attribute of Yesod, which is the lowest of the attributes of the world of Atzilus that connects the level of Malchus. It connects the emotions that are generated by the intellect to the thoughts that the emotions are expressed through. And just as this level of Yesod is a connector, so too a button connects two separate things. So that's why he's called Yitzchak the button. Besides having the name Yitzchak, he has the name button. He encompasses this attribute of connection. And the word for button, Kaptara, contains the Hebrew word poter, which means the one who interprets the dreams for good. The level of Rach, remember we said the word is Mavarach, to bless. And the Mev means harsh judgments. And the Rach means soft and good. So the level of Rach occurs on Shmini Atzeres, which is the Yom Tov of Yosef, the level of Yesod. Like it says, Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkot correspond to Abraham, that's Pesach, that's kindness. Yitzchak is strength or holding back, Gevurah. And Yaakov is Tiferes, the beautiful combination of both of those attributes. And the Yom Tov of Shmini Atzeres corresponds to Yosef Atzadik, the level of Yesod, which is symbolized by a button, Rabbi Yitzhak Kaftorah, Rabbi Yitzhak the button. Paro's dreams fell on Rosh Hashanah, and Yosef was released on Rosh Hashanah to interpret Paro's dreams. Everybody remembers? Paro had a dream of 7 fat cows, and 7 bad cows came and ate them up. Yosef was called Av Rach, the father of soft goodness. And Shmini Atzeres happens to be 22 days after Rosh Hashanah, which parallels the fact that Yosef's dreams, remember he had the dream of the sheaves of wheat were all bowing down, and the sun and the moon, the stars were bowing down to the sun. And those dreams were fulfilled 22 years later after he had them, when Yosef was able to judge his brothers. Those dreams came to fruition. Our Rebbe asked a question. What is the connection of the word mavarach, which is a blessing? How is it connected to a dream? And furthermore, what connection does strict judgment, mev, the first part of mavarach, have to a blessing, which the word mavarach means a blessing? So that's the two questions. What does this word, a blessing, have to do with a dream? He was shown the meaning of it in a dream. And how come the first part of the word, which is a blessing, starts with harsh judgments? The answer is that in the very creation of the world, we see a combination of judgment and kindness. It first rose up in Hashem's thought to create the world with the attribute of strict judgment, the level of Mav. But through the attribute of strict judgment, the world could not have remained in existence. So kind mercy, which is Rach, was added to the strict judgment. Strict judgment is manifest through contracting the infinite light so that no revelation of godliness remains. In order for Hashem to connect to us, he has to take away his infinite light. Because if the infinite light was revealed, there would be no room for anything to exist. So in order for us to exist and connect with Hashem, he has to completely take away that infinite light. And that is encompassed in the idea of Mav and the idea of strictness. the hiding of godliness. And that allows for the existence of worlds which appear to exist independently. Then, after allowing for the possibility of seeming independent in existence, we feel we exist, Hashem adds on the measure of kind mercy. He adds on to Mav, the strict judgment, the level of kind mercy. And that's the godliness that is manifest in our world. And how is it manifest? Anybody have any idea? It's manifest through miracles and tzaddikim and righteous people. Through miracles and through the righteous people, godliness is manifest in the world. And that is the rach, the goodness that Hashem adds on to the mav, the strict judgment. Now we can understand how a blessing, mevarech, is a combination of strict judgment and kind mercy. Because in order to have the magnification and the drawing down of Hashem's great name, so it can be a blessing that's revealed in the world, like it says, Yesh me rabba mevarech, it's necessary, you have to have the strict judgment first, because through that hiding and contraction, the vessels which contain and spread godly revelation are formed. Finally, in fact, through these vessels, the infinite light itself will be revealed to us, which is the final fulfillment of the original godly intention. Hey, Svika, happy birthday! Welcome, welcome to Gezintahait Street.
Hey,
In fact,
mazel tov.
In fact, this is Hashem's intention in sending the soul into the physical body. On high, the soul had an open revelation of godliness. The descent of the soul into a body and a physical world where there is no revelation of godliness, and even a further descent into a state of exile, is in order that the soul will achieve a much higher level of godly revelation than it had before it came down. A revelation not of lights, but of Hashem himself. In our time of exile, when the revelation of godliness is completely concealed, with many coverings, and the flow of livelihood is much less than we had the Holy Temple in Jerusalem, the worries and occupation and making a living involve a person's whole heart and soul. So naturally, our service of Torah and mitzvahs is much more restricted now. But the godly intention in this constriction is that our service will be perfected through prevailing over any obstacle which exists through the lack of godly revelation. Just as creation combines opposites, hiding and revelation, mav and rach, so too does a dream combine opposites. He was told the meaning of that word in a dream. A dream combines opposite. A dream connects opposites, making them one entity. In sleep, the intellect, which tells the difference between reality and its opposite, leaves its place. What remains is only the power of imagining. The power of imagining can unify opposites, like an ocean vessel can fly in the air. Or the Alter Rebbe could be put in jail. So too in the exile, which is likened to a dream, we're called dreamers, the godly soul becomes invested in a person who is asleep, whose true brains, his big brains, have departed, allowing opposites to combine. We work all day at our occupation, even though when we prayed in the morning, we were aroused to love and attachment to Hashem, but after praying, the love goes away. Our only desire is to fill our physical needs, the opposite of prayer, when we were focused on Hashem. The coming of the soul into exile in the body is also a combination of opposites, just like in a dream, physical and spiritual. The godly soul is spiritual and the body is physical. And the whole service of Torah and mitzvahs in this physical world is a combination of opposites, spiritual and physical. And the intention in this sleep and dream state of combining opposites is to reveal a level that's higher than both, higher than spiritual and higher than physical. A dream has its source in a very exalted spiritual plane called the Holy Supernal Mountains, which are symbolized by circles or wheels, which in their spinning have no top or bottom. Everything is included as one. And it's only when these images come into the straight lines of intellect that there's a right line and a left line. Not so on the level of circles where everything is equally included as one. So that's like in a dream. But this high level, which is the source of dreams, in which opposites become unified, cannot be revealed down here. Revelation down here is through the intellect, whose lines are clearly delineated and separate. Only in sleep and dreams, when the intellect has departed, like in the object of the sleep metaphor, the dream of exile, can a higher light spark out. The only way that this thing could be revealed, this spark of light, has to be when we're in a dream state, when we're in the state of exile, and we don't realize godliness. And this happens how? Through the perfection of our service here in the exile, which is the dream sleep level. And through our service, in this time when Hashem is hidden, we'll reach the heights of the source of dreams, the level which is higher than separate delineations of intellect. Like it says, when Hashem returns the captives, we will realize we're like dreamers. Now we can see the connection between Mavarach and a dream. Specifically in a dream, the meaning of Mavarach was shown to Rabbi Yitzchak. Mavarach is a combination of opposites, Mev and Rach, harsh judgment and good softness. And the dream also combines opposites. And the central message of Mavarach, the blessing, which is a combination of opposites, Mav and Rach, brings down the revelation of a very high supernal light, and it brings it to the worlds. What's high supernal light? Hashem's great name. And that revelation, Rach, that good, soft revelation, is due to the initial hiding of godliness, the contraction of the light, Mev. Like in a dream, the drawing down of a very high level comes through the hiding of the time of sleep, which symbolizes the additional revelation caused by our service in the dream night of exile. So the Rebbe is interpreting this horrible dream of darkness that we have and interpreting it for the good. That through this dream, we are going to be able to overcome the darkness and the new light will spark out. And this was seen in the release of Yosef from the Egyptian prison to interpret Pharaoh's dreams. He's the one that interprets the dreams. In the release of the Alter Rebbe, the same thing could be seen. When the Alter Rebbe was released, the spreading of the well springs of Hasidus, the inner part of the Torah, in a way that could be understood internally through the intellect, and also the release of the previous Rebbe. And that leads to another explanation of why the inner meaning of the word Mavarach, a blessing, is explained through Rabbi Yitzchak Kaptora. Button, the Kaptora, is that the name Yitzchak is connected to laughter. Like when Sarah heard that she's going to have a son, she laughed. And Hashem said, name him Yitzchak, name him laughter. That's what Sarah said. Elohim caused me to laugh. Elohim means the hidden level of godliness, and that's what causes the laughter, which indicates a supernal laughter and heavenly enjoyment, which is drawn down through the hidden level of godliness, the name Elohim, which happens through us being in exile, being in a dream. It indicates the attribute of non-revelation, which is Mev. And through the contraction of the godly light, Elohim, godliness is hidden in order that the person should prevail over the obstacles of godly service. And through his service to Hashem, Hashem gets joy and divine laughter. The second name, button Kaftara, indicates the unification of two opposites. A button connects two opposites in the godly dynamic. Hiding of the outer light, that is the contraction of the light, in order for a revelation of the essence of Hashem. Like every button serves as connector, and actually the unification of opposites, which was revealed through a dream to Rabbi Yitzchak, is already accomplished in reality. The previous Rebbe's name was Yosef Yitzchak, but not like Yitzchak Ketara, where Yitzchak, the Mev, came first, and then the softness. By the previous Rebbe, the Yosef, the softness, came first, and then the Yitzchak, the laughter. We've completed all the service necessary, including polishing the buttons. Yitzchak, the button. Therefore, in Rabbi Yitzchak HaTorah, we see the completion of the service in exile, the whole existence of exile, which comes about through the attribute of harsh judgment, Mev, is finally only a dream. We are dreamers, and the true reality is the true and final redemption when Moshiach comes. The true reality is the true redemption when we'll call Yitzhak our father, because the supernal laughter and joy will be revealed. And how is it revealed? Through the service that we do now in exile. Soon, the Rebbe says, our mouths will be filled with laughter. The harsh judgments of Mev are about to be eliminated from the equation. And Yitzhak will be manifest through laughter and joy. Only pure blessing and happiness will remain, the pure rejoicing of Shmini Atzeres, which, by the way, the 8 days of Hanukkah is the Sukkot from the Rosh Hashanah of Yutes Kislev. In joy, we will sing the 10th song. Our mouth will be filled with laughter, and our tongue will express jubilation. Perhaps we have a niggun to express some of that jubilation.
Ya ba 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 boy boy boy. Ya ba 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 boy boy boy. Boy 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 boy. Ya ba ba ba.
I want to ask Schneider. Schneider, do you remember what happened? You know, this week was Rosh Chodesh Kislev, the first of the month of Kislev. And on that day, in Tovshin Lamed Ches, it was Simchas Torah, Shmini Atzeres of 1977. And the Rebbe had it was the year before, on that Simchas Torah before that, the Rebbe, during HaKofis, he had a heart attack. And on the day this week was Rosh Chodesh Kislev, was when the Rebbe went home and in his full capacity as the Rebbe. So it was a big celebration. Schneider,
Hey.
Schneider, remember that? Remember, because if you remember, Schneider, by that HaKofis, By that Akop is that year, you were standing right next to me.
Oh yeah. I looked at you and I said,
Yeah, and if you remember what happened was the first Akop, the Rebbe danced with the Torah, and then the second and third Akop, the Rebbe was watching, but he looked pale. And by the fourth Akop, they bring him in the chair to sit. And then they told everybody go out, because the Rebbe needed more air.
they were breaking the glass windows. They were breaking the windows to get air in there.
Yeah, remember Schneider? See, I think me and Schneider, we sat together in 77.
It was crazy. It was pandemonium.
So we're gonna sing this niggin. We're gonna sing this niggin that on Rosh Chodesh Kislev, when the Rebbe was able to go home and went back into his full everything and to be our Rebbe. This song was made to celebrate. But first, before we do that, I want to wish a Mazel Tov to our friend Tzvikale. Mazel Tov, happy birthday. You should have an amazing year, and the Eibishter should give you lots of what's the three M's? Mercedes, Mashke, and money. Yeah.
Mazel tov.
I wear dark clothing because it picks up everything.
Okay, so are you ready for the niggin? Okay, so I'm muting everybody for a second so that the niggin doesn't get. Okay, here we go.
Hey! That was wonderful. Bravo. Happy birthday, Mr. Tree.
Is that Morty? Oh, okay.
No, that's
Okay, everybody. Like we just said, we're now dreamers in the exile. And the reason is because the supernal man makes himself like he's sleeping, like he doesn't have brains, like he's asleep. And that causes us to go into a dream state. And what's our dream? That it's possible for a Jew to live without Torah and mitzvah. Like a deep diver who doesn't have an air supply. It's an impossible thing. It's like a dream and not reality. When the soul returns to the world of truth. What happens? There was a guy who was told there was a country where the ground is filled with gold and diamonds and precious jewels. So he decided he's going to go there to make his fortune. So he went on the long journey. And when he got there, he saw it was really true. And he filled up all his bags with diamonds and gold and precious treasures. And before he got on the boat to go home, he went in the restaurant to have something to eat. Boris Kershim this year. And he ordered a big dinner of steak and potatoes and schmaltz herring. And he was very satisfied. And he had a lot of money. And he said, okay, how much is it? And he took out one of those bags of treasures. Are these diamonds enough to pay for it? And they said, diamonds? Diamonds can't pay for anything here. Diamonds are all over the ground. He said, well, how can I pay for my meal? They said, the only way you can pay is with chicken fat. That's schmaltz. So he said, I don't have any chicken fat. So they said, well, you can work washing dishes. And you'll work washing dishes for a week and it'll pay for your meal with some chicken fat. So he was a very smart guy. And he went to work and he started making a lot of chicken fat. And he went into different businesses. And finally, he built up whole warehouses full of chicken fat. And he was the richest guy over there in that place. So then he decided he's going to go back home and show everybody what a millionaire he is. So he got on a ship. I think he took 4 ships full of chicken fat. And he went home. And they knew he was coming. They came out with a band to greet him. You came, you made your fortune. And he came back. And all of a sudden, those boats started to stink. And they said, what are you doing? He said, look at all the chicken fat I got. They said, chicken fat is not what's valuable over here. What's valuable is gold and diamonds. So he was very broken. He had spent all that time making his fortune. And he got onto land. And they turned him upside down and they found in the cuff of his trousers a few diamonds. So he didn't come back completely destitute. And the story is a metaphor for what happens to us when we come into the world. The neshama sees that in this world, it can get a whole lot of Torah and mitzvahs, diamonds and gold. So it comes down to the world, and then it comes to the world, and it's told, no, the currency over here is chicken fat. So the person invests all of his time and all of his thought into acquiring chicken fat. And then after 120 years, he goes back and he finds out he's only got chicken fat. But luckily, he picked up a few diamonds. He did a few mitzvahs. So what we're living in here is a dream. It's not real reality. It's chicken fat. Schmaltz is delicious, but it doesn't last. And just like when the soul comes in a body, it has to undergo a mighty descent from its level before it was in the body. So too the ray of godliness that creates the world must also descend from its level in order to bring into being an entity which appears and feels itself to be separate from godliness. And that light descends from the lamp which projects it, which is the light of the world of Atzilus. And that light is similar to the emanator, to one who emanates the light. Therefore, it has the power to create something from nothing. But to bring into being of a something from a nothing is not from the essence of the light, but from a mere glow of a reflection of those original lights. And how is this reflection of godly light becomes finally the source of separate worlds, Bria, Seer, and Asiya, which feel, and the creatures in those worlds feel separate from God. And how is it possible? Because the light goes through a mighty descent from its level up in the world of Atzilus. Because it has to bring into being limited creatures. So that this ray of infinite light can connect to a limited creation, which has a number. The actual light of godliness is not contracted and connected to the creation. Number is incomparable to infinite. One is one part of a million. And if that one isn't part of a million, you don't have a million. Numbers are related one to the other. But a million takes absolutely no place when compared to the infinite. So this light, this infinite light, has to contract itself so that it has the ability to bring into being entities that feel separate from godliness. So you can imagine what a great descent it is for our infinite light to be connected to finiteness. The creation is something new, something from nothing. And the first cause is a nothing, is that godly light, the ray of godly light. Why? Because it's not graspable and realizable by us, by the created beings. Even by the highest angels can't grasp and realize that light. That's why it's called a nothing. But that godly power which creates the creation, besides being hidden from the creation, it's completely hidden from us. It's called a nothing. But it has some comparison to the creation because it actually brings it into being. For example, in physicality, the spiritual power of sight of the soul is unlimited. But once it gets into the flesh of an eye, even the best, most powerful seeing from a physical eye is 60 miles. You can't see further than that. On the top of a high mountain, on a clear day, you can see 60 miles. It's limited. Therefore, since it has to connect to limited creations, this godly light, and enliven and bring them into being, it has to make a big descent. Similar to the descent of the soul to come into a body. And imagine what a huge descent it is for an infinite thing to connect with a finite thing. But that descent is in order to reach something higher, to have the limited existence, the existence become nullified to what Hashem wants, which Hashem is completely infinite. He's not connected to the finite creations. And how is that accomplished? Through Torah and mitzvahs, by the soul being invested in physicality to cause a nullification and weakening of the animal soul until the animal soul goes out of its coarse desires and becomes included in godliness through the teaching of the godly soul. And little by little, it receives and understands the explanation of godliness in a way it can understand in its intellect until it's finally aroused to love Hashem. This animal soul, which only goes after physicality, finally becomes aroused to love and fear Hashem. Like it says, you brought us to know that Havaya is Elohim, that the hidden level of godliness is really Hashem. And this service is through Torah and mitzvahs, and the Torah becomes invested in human intellect. You imagine a godly intellect becomes invested in a human intellect, so that even the natural soul can understand a godly idea. And this thing of turning over the physical world to serve Hashem is Hashem's initial intention in hiding and contracting the light. And the descent of the soul in the godly light in order for the animal soul and the natural physical world to be illuminated by the service of us limited creatures. And this is the spiritual dynamic behind the victory of the Leviathan, the huge fish, in its joust with the behemoth, the huge bull. That behemoth, the huge bull, is physicality. And the huge fish is spirituality. And the fish finally wins the joust. And our work of fixing and purification of the physical world causes godly laughter. And that's what happens. When that joust is going on, Hashem gets enjoyment, like a guy who goes to the Super Bowl. And he gets delight. And that delight that Hashem gets in our service is going to be revealed pretty soon. Hashem's fun and pleasure with the big fish indicates how the yesh, the thing to feel separate, becomes nullified. Leviathan, spirituality, finally pulls in and connects with physicality and actually wins over it, including the physical into godliness, and including the godly nothing through our service of Torah and mitzvahs, causing Hashem to get great pleasure. The first 3 hours of the day, the king sits and learns Torah, which means Chachma, Bina, and Das of Hashem. And the second 3 hours of the day, he judges what's good and what's bad. And the third 3 hours of the day, he gives over to the world what it deserves through what he has judged and what he had learned what the judgment should be. And then in the fourth hour of the day, he sits and plays with Leviathan, the Leviathan. At the time of Mincha, what does it mean, the Leviathan? The fact that the creatures are able to connect to the infinite. That causes Hashem pleasure and laughter. On Gezintahait Street, we regularly announce that this is the main Verbringen of Moshiach. The question is, what is a Verbringen? What does it accomplish? What does it mean? What it is, it's a coming together of Hasidim and friends in order to strengthen our service to Hashem with enthusiasm and illumination. There's a Mishnah that teaches if 10 people sit together and engage in the study of Torah, the divine presence rests among them. So how do we know when one person sits and learns Torah, the divine presence rests with him? It explains it in the Gemara. When the Rebbe Rashab explained this Mishnah, he once said, efforts are being made so that Torah, which people study, should have an effect upon them, so that they should sensitively perceive the light that is hidden in the Torah. And that's accomplished through the Torah of Chassidus, which is revealed in the holiday coming up of the 19th of Kislev. And when this happens, when this light in Torah, this godly light is perceived, there are sublime spiritual lights of the transcendent level called makifim, and they're elicited And they constitute a sanctuary for God's presence. So when we learn Torah and we sense the godly light in that Torah that we learn, that light becomes a sanctuary for Hashem to dwell in. And the spiritual arousal of these people who are learning this Torah and sensing that light constitutes the altar in that sanctuary. And just as on the altar in the Beis HaMikdash, even though there was a divine fire present, there was a big fire that came down and ate up the sacrifice, which is symbolized by these high encompassing lights. It was a mitzvah to bring a man-made fire on the altar, bring our own wood with our own fire. Even though there was this high fire, this high godly fire that would come down and consume the sacrifice, we had a mitzvah to light a fire down here, a physical fire. So too in our sanctuary, this sanctuary of the surrounding lights that are sensed in the learning of the Torah. So where do we see the bringing of the man-made fire, which draws down these higher lights? That's a Hasidic Verbringen. That's Gezintahait Street. The fire above is present in every single Jew, even if he's extremely whatever, not connected. It just takes the fire from below to activate that fire from above. This month contains the Rosh Hashanah of Hasidus, the 19th of Kislev. And the Rebbe Marash once said that on Rosh Hashanah, a Jew utters a sigh and sheds a tear on account of some physical difficulty, like his health or his livelihood. And the Rebbe Marash says, and this tear is counted as a very high level of return to God. The Rebbe Shab explains why is it counted a very high? After all, it's a selfish thing. I want God to fix me up. Why is it so high? Because on Rosh Hashanah, and again, we're coming up on the Rosh Hashanah of Chassidus, a Jew's every move takes place on a higher level than usual. This means that every move takes place at its innermost dimension, and that the innermost nucleus of his innermost self, every Jew is a Jew. Deep within him, there is a fire from above. That means everybody who's listening has a fire from above that's his inner dimension. Nevertheless, it's a mitzvah to bring a man-made fire, a fire from down here as well. And that's the function of a Hasidus Verbringen. We're in a spirit of brotherly love. People agree on setting aside a time for regular study. They talk about the refinement of certain character traits. They plan how to do something for someone who needs help. They speak candidly from their heart. And at the same time, whether intentionally or not, they awaken themselves to spiritually endeavor, and they awaken others. And they remind their younger colleagues they're duty-bound to participate in those study sessions and duty-bound to help another person. Do we have a break maybe for a nigun at this point? See, I hope you'll sing with us.
Good idea.
Hey, Boris Kershina.
Boris Karshina. Oh, good boy.
Hello.
Hello, Boris.
That's what we're doing.
Boris Garcia, let me tell you something.
Neither. Time out. One second. We think, oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're thinking of. By the we have on the line on the telephone from under the from.
I didn't. What you saying?
Is Boris, their Wi-Fi conks out and they get frozen. I told them fix that Wi-Fi before you start, but they don't listen to me.
Boris, can you hear us?
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Boris, how you doing?
Hey, Leib, start the niggin. Mendel is frozen over there.
I boy.
I hope he's not cold.
Okay,
Boris.
guys, hit it with the music.
There you go.
Oh, there it is. Come on.
Really? I think, I'm not sure, but
Boris.
Where's Boris?
I think Mary Hopkins played.
Boris is here, don't worry.
Yes, here.
Ah, Boris, how's it going there in Morristown, hiding under the stairs?
Hey,
What I say?
Is it Thursday night? You need to be upstairs in Tomche learning with the boys,
I
okay?
can't hear Boris. 1 second.
Why are you?
Yes, Baruch Hashem, I'm sanitizing doorbell.
Good. Good. They still didn't catch you.
Schneider? Why isn't Schneider?
Yes.
Wait, this Boris Kashina's online.
No, Boris. Why isn't Schneider upstairs learning with you right now?
What do you say?
Hey, Label Schmokler said he wants to study Torah with you.
Tater again?
Yeah.
I can't hear so well. What do you say?
Yeah, Boris is under the staircase with the Sefer Mamorim. And Schneider, it's okay. Baruch Hashem, sitzt mit uns. He's sitting with us. It's okay.
It's for bringing.
Oh, yeah.
Ja, voeding Sefer Mamorim Samas Vav and Verbringing.
Yeah, by the way,
With your
Boris,
Samas Vav.
yeah, that's what happens. See, Boris, he's such a chassid, he can bring by himself. Why? Because he sits under the staircase and Hall can't find him.
Boris.
He sits with a Samach Vav and L'chaim and he brings. What do you need else?
Under the stairs,
Exactly.
up an open target.
A niggin. We need a niggin once in a while.
Yeah.
There you go.
Seven niggas.
So, okay, so I'm just I'm gonna mute everybody so we can do while we do the niggins, you know? Okay, where do we stop? What's the key? Give me the early key. What's the target?
Really?
What do we do with it?
I thought they had to find out. I thought they had to find out. I saw that.
Yeah. I don't know what
Go back.
What?
Garbach.
No, what's on the target?
Josh had the board, wasn't it?
What are you saying?
You know, was on the target. Was with Zayn. I need to go.
I don't know why.
Oh, is that what we planned on?
Yeah.
It got in. Oh, we can do that one.
What was it in? Is it an E-lab? What key am I in? Give me the key.
Hey, Puppet, don't push me around.
Labe, you made too much l'chaim. Give me the key.
Puppet,
Give me the key, Labe.
I'm union. I'm gonna get my the music union boss on you, okay?
Really, Labe?
Yeah, I'm gonna get him on
Really,
you.
Labe? Do
Getting a phone call tomorrow morning. That's right.
Labe, do us
It's in G flat
What's
nine.
up in Morgan? What's in Morgan?
Yeah, wait,
All right, whatever you want.
Labe, do us like the hundred dollars. Let's go. Play the G flat minor. Go. I was all men's again, was with I'm again. Let us talking. It's not another sign. One thing not the right. And me, I tell you, I was all men's again, was with I'm again. Shake it, let us talking. It's not another sign. One thing not the right.
Oh, boy.
Honey, no gayim gayim na megidam ma badavi ke menakal yashir yashir dawa hiper al mosay amel
Amboy.
gayim gayim na megidam ma badavi ke menakal yashir yashir dawa hiper al mosay amel
Amboy.
ay 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 dida ay 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 dida
Soy, soy.
ay ay dida ay 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 dida hey ay 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 dida ay 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 dida hey ay ay dida ay 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 hey hey ay 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 dida ya ay dida ya ay dida ya ay Hey, hey! Ay, 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 hey, ya, militaria, ay, militaria, ay, militaria, ay, hey, ay, 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 mas militaria, mas militaria, mas militaria.
Little light.
Hey, ay, 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 dida, ay, ay, dida, ay, 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 dida, ay, ay, dida. Agni no gayima me, dida ma vargoyi yika, na kaya jivlitsa, lehi perano sayama. Agni no gayima me.
Oh, that was very nice. That was a good boy.
No, Boris. What makes it from them niggin? Boris,
Boris Karsi, nice.
unmute yourself.
Boris is muted.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
sorry,
I like
Boris.
to think it very much.
No, during the niggin I have to mute everybody because otherwise the sound on this on Zoom. What is up in the Yosel? How's it called? Zoom. Zoom. Yeah, on the Zoom, it can't be. You know, Zoom is like Grayson Mishnagid. You can't. It doesn't allow two Hasidim to sing at the same time.
What are you talking about? That's not what Zoom is. Zoom is this. Zoom golly golly golly, Zoom golly golly, Zoom golly. Label knows.
Zoom is the favorite.
You hear the same thing 10 times. That's the point.
Ha'avodah leman ha'ebistel, ha'ebistel leman ha'aveder,
Zoom golly golly.
Yo.
Golly. You hear that fiddle? That's a nice sound.
Wait again.
The fiddle, the yiddle with the fiddle. He plays a nice sound.
You're right.
Okay, Rabbi Onion.
Matter, you got good taste. This Parsha this week. Can anybody hear me? Am I back on?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. This Parsha this week is called Parshas Toldos,
Not so loud.
and it's about.
Rabbi.
Good.
Thank you very much,
Can't-
Boris. Now I'm
can't
hooked up
hear.
again.
There you go. That's a good boy.
At least one guy is honest. Okay. I was wondering why I didn't have that yellow line around the block there.
There you go.
This Parsha this week is about our father Yitzchak. It's called Parshas Toldos. And the point of Yitzchak is that he redug the wells that his father dug and that the Philistines filled up. And redigging of wells, we could find in our own service, when we learn something and we understand it, we can go back and go over it again for a deeper and a better and a more clear understanding. And that is the attribute of Yitzhak, which is called Gevurah, which is called strength, which is able to bring up water from below, as opposed to the service of our father Abraham, who served out of chesed, of kindness, which is water from above. And that water from above is manifest on the level of godly manifestation through the contraction of the godly light to connect and create limited creatures, which we talked about. But Yitzchak, his service is the opposite of the coming down of the light. Yitzhak serves from down to up, from the hidden level, like a well whose water is hidden underground and has to be revealed through removing earth and rocks. And this service from down to up, whose result is unbounded, endless expansion, the opposite of the contraction and the veiledness of the godly light, which comes in the way of the chain of descent of the world, which is symbolized by Abraham, symbolized by kindness. It's Hashem's kindness that he connects with us. And how does he do it? By hiding his light. And the light becomes measured and limited, because in order for the infinite light to be realized in a limited world, it has to be contracted, filtered, and concealed, stages by mighty contractions. After all, it's an infinite light, and the worlds are finite. And that's the kindness of Hashem, to connect with us through this process, to spread godly awareness like Abraham did. He spread godly awareness. He took care of the physical needs of the people around him. And when they thanked him, he said, don't thank me. This bounty is from Hashem, the one God. But the attribute of Yitzhak, the attribute of strength, of Gevurah, remember we learned about Yitzhak the button. Nev is symbolized by Yitzhak, who goes from down to up, not from up to down. He connects and unifies to Hashem himself, higher than any manifestation, even a manifestation of infinite light. So what we accomplish down here in connecting to the infinite through our service, like Yitzhak, our father, of Torah and mitzvahs, causes and reaches unlimited, growing wider and wider through the ascent, which is the opposite of the kindness of the chain of descent, until it can reach the essential, unlimited wideness of Hashem himself. And that's why when Moshiach comes, we will call our father Yitzchak, even higher than our father Abraham, because the whole service of Yitzhak, of Gevurah, of strength, is nullification and union with Hashem. Like a rebounded light, it's a return to our Father, the infinite King. The rebound is called the lower water, which are called tears, because we cry that we don't have Hashem, and that causes us to be motivated to do everything we can to raise up and become connected with him. And they're called live waters, which rise up with great strength from down to up, like the waters of a well, and rebound in a spiritual rebound to their source. And the metaphor, and I didn't see it in Hasidus, but I think it works pretty well, is like if you're looking for something and you shine a flashlight. The light from the flashlight that hits the thing you're looking for is the straight light. That's like the light of kindness, like the light of Abraham Avinu. But what bounces back doesn't bounce back to the flashlight. It bounces back to the guy who's shining the flashlight and gives him the pleasure in finding the thing that he's looking for. And this going up to Hashem and this rebound has no limit. The soul in its return rises higher and higher because the infinite light is high and exalted beyond limit. But the kindness level, the level of Abraham, who fed even the lowest people and introduced them to the one God to make a world where he can connect with us, where Hashem makes a world, he can connect with us through his kindness and allow us free choice to connect with him, is called the straight and descending light, like the light that comes out of the flashlight. Its opposite, is the opposite of the service of Yitzhak, which is the rebounding light. The godly light must be contracted and minimized in this coming down level, especially to reach this dark and limited world. So we see the kindness of Hashem in the straight light, which is the opposite of the strength of the going up of the rebounded light. The higher it goes, the wider and bigger it becomes. It doesn't become contracted, it gets bigger and bigger until it becomes included in the infinite light itself as it is without coverings, all the way up to before the first contraction, because its elevation has no limit at all. It reaches Hashem himself, higher than physical and spiritual altogether. And there's another component to the service of Yitzhak. It causes divine pleasure and laughter, which is elicited by us limited creatures in connecting to the infinite one. So not only this service of down to up rebounds and goes back to Hashem himself, Hashem is affected to it, to the point where he gets pleasure and laughter from what we accomplish. Because here a limited creature is able to connect to the infinite. That a limited creature could reach an unlimited and even higher to Hashem himself causes divine delight and laughter. And the name Yitzhak, who symbolizes this service, means laughter. And when the king laughs, everyone laughs. And even though the king is involved in his kingly pursuits of running the country and extending his glory to the world and deriving great personal satisfaction from the great good he has accomplished, and he doesn't want to be disturbed. But when they tell the king there's a bird outside who's reading the newspaper, a limited creature has connected with the unlimited. It's a thing that's impossible. The king goes out to see what's going on with this bird. And he goes out and the bird looks at the king and he goes, "Hiya, boss." And the king laughs. And the bird says, "Your Majesty, I want to tell you a story. A Cohen, a Levi, and a Yisrael walk into a bar. The bartender said, "What is this, a joke?" Okay, it's not the greatest joke in the world, but it's pretty good for a bird. And that draws the king out of his regular occupations of running the country. Why? Because there's two different kinds of satisfaction. There's a combined desire which is combined with, there is a satisfaction, which is combined with a desire, like the desire of the king to accomplish his great good through his rule, like the Avram Avinu service, the coming down of the light, which in the object of the metaphor is Hashem's desire to do good by revealing godliness to us limited creatures. And through that, he gets great satisfaction. But there's a second level of pleasure and delight, which is uncombined. It's simple. It's not combined with a desire at all. It's completely free from limitation and self-contraction. It's open and simple. The king gets from that amazing thing of the bird that can talk, of us reaching the unlimited. How a limited creature can do the unheard of impossibility of connecting to the infinite. And that causes divine laughter and delight. And like we said, when the king laughs, then everyone laughs. And that's what the name Yitzhak means, is laughter. Should we finish this up or should we have a niggin first? What do you think, Gimel Aleph?
Okay, ready? Where's Schneider anyway?
Just look it up.
Where is Schneider? He's here.
Yeah, Schneider.
Hey!
You remember in Morristown, Russia, when we was growing up?
Oh, yeah.
In Morrisburg, in Morris, Stalinville, and there was this niggin, Yoai Dididin.
Oh, yeah.
Infinity.
Boris, you remember?
Yes.
Sure.
Remember, Boris, we was running away in the street. The KGB guy was trying to catch us, and we was like, nah, 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 nah. You're white, did him. You're white. Nah, 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 nah. You're white, did him.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that was thing now. So, but
That was fun.
yeah, but
Boy,
wait,
boy.
if you don't mind, I'm gonna mute everybody so that it doesn't make the song sound weird. I mean, we're gonna sound weird, but so it doesn't make
You're
it
gonna hear
sound
it 10
very
times.
weird.
You sound good.
Okay, Chevra, you ready for the niggin?
I really did.
Hoishi, get the bongos. Hoishi, for crying out loud, get the bongos. Oh, Hoishi. Oh, Hoishi, everybody's waiting. There's 500,000 people watching the show waiting for the bongos. Okay, so it's 5. Whatever.
Oh.
Come on, get the bongos. Hoishi, right now. Oh, there you are. Okay, ready? Me, you, and what is it? Something McGlue, or what is it? Mr. Magoo. Okay. Mordechai, you ready? Here we go.
Yes.
I'm still scared of today. You've been going. I'm still scared.
Here we go. Hey, yo, why did it, why did it, la la la, why did it, why did it, la la. Hey, yo, why did it, la la la.
Bye bye.
Why did it, la la. Hey, yo,
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Very good. Very good.
No, boys.
Really?
Boys, Kaushina, was Oscar?
That
Oh,
was amazing.
It's a great nigga, no, remember?
very groovy.
Yeah, we like to sing it on us.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you stood in Samarkand.
Oh,
Even the
yeah.
KGB knew the nigga.
Oh, yeah, we were singing and dancing with the little streimels on our nose.
And when Moshiach comes, we'll call Yitzhak not Abraham our father, because our mouth will be filled with laughter. And this is what I want everybody to hear and to understand and to take personally. Don't think it's only the accomplished special souls that cause the divine delight. No, it's particularly the simple folks like us who only have 1 or 2 diamonds in the pants cuffs. I'm going to tell a story from Senior Rosenblum, Oliver Shalom, that he told about one Sukkot when he was a bacher in Crown Heights, and he was walking down the street with his lulav and esrog, and there was a Jewish guy in a bathing suit with no other clothes on washing his car. And he asked the guy, does he want to do lulav and esrog and make a bracha? And the guy says, okay. And there was a chassid standing there with a whole silk robe and a fur hat and side curls and a beard. And the guy was standing and laughing, making fun. So Rabbi Senior, young Rabbi Senior Jr., said to the chassid who was laughing at him, why are you laughing? He said, the guy's outside in his underwear naked, washing his car in Yontif, and you're asking him if he wants to do a mitzvah. I think it's pretty funny. So Senior Rosenblum told me that Hashem put the words in his mouth to answer this guy. And what he told the guy was, imagine a guy who has 2 children. One of his sons is a straight-A student, and the other one has never said a word in his life. He can't talk. And they both come home from school one day, and the straight-A student wows everybody out with what he learned and what he wants and what he knows. And the guy who couldn't talk says, hi, Ta. He said, which one do you think the father is going to get more nachas from? He said, the same way with this guy who's out washing his car. When he does the lulav and esrog, Hashem gets more nachas from him than he does from your fancy bracha of lulav and esrog. It's like a father rolls around on the floor with a baby laughing. The baby didn't do anything. He's only a baby. But the father gets so much pleasure from the little giggle that baby does, the little hug and a kiss the baby gives him. So don't think to yourself, who am I and what am I? Even if you're not religious, and far from it, Just once in a while, say Shema Yisrael. Thank Hashem for giving you your life. Give a coin in a charity box to somebody who needs it. Call to Hashem. Give him satisfaction. And nachas, like a baby gives a father. You guys want to go out with a niggum? Or should we sing the end song already?
Okay.
Hey.
What do you think, Labe?
Only by the way, we have a guest guitar player. The great Zvika, Weisse Zvika.
Birthday. Also.
Who?
Okay.
Weisse Zvika. Zvika. You know
Mr.
Zvika's a guitar player?
Yeah.
Wow.
Here we go.
Very.
If the mikveh was Mashke and I was a duck, I'd swim to the bottom and drink my way up. Oh, tell me how long do I have to wait? Can I get Moshiach now? Or must I hesitate? Oh, but the mikveh is not Mashke, and I'm not a duck. I swam to the bottom, and I drank my way up. Tell me how long do I have to wait? Oh, can I get Moshiach now? Do I have to hesitate?
Make the guitar louder.
Come on. Wait. No.
Now, come on, children.
Let's go. Sing a great song.
There's only one way to follow an act like that. Gezintahait, Gezintahait, Gezintahait. Remember, kids, Gezintahait.
Yeah. That's